Shalom, shalom. Greetings to you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, wherever you are. We are so blessed to have the Lord in our midst, ministering to us through His Word. And it is a blessing, We'll forever be grateful to Him because He doesn't change. He is who He is, and nothing will change about Him. The trouble is that men have changed and they think God changes with them. And their thought about God is very limited. And our understanding about God, the moment is limited, we invent, we create our own images or thoughts, and we attribute those things and thoughts to God, who is a good God. And we do the projection, the things people are suffering, the things which people are, going through, they just take those things and they portray God with those things in their minds, and that God is a fake one. It's not the true God. They're supposed to know. They're supposed to discover that that's not a true God. The true God is described in the scriptures in a very unique way. For instance, we are seeing here in Psalms chapter 16, while the psalmist is so excited and is bringing out certain revelations about God, and we have to discover. For instance, he's saying that in Him, in whom is all my delight, now he's talking about the joy, the fullness of joy, the happiness that is found in Him. So in Him there's joy. For example, that's a good explanation of who God is. The images that we give God have created, chaos in our lives, because the truth is, what we think about God, most of those things are not true. They are invented and created, and we don't know how much that is so harmful. When you carry a wrong thought or image or description of who God is and is not, it is so harmful because it harms you. It harms you. Eventually, it will affect you in one way or the other. And that's what we have to eliminate, right? We have to eliminate this through the truth. Through the truth. We have to come to the truth. And so truth will take away all the images that we have that are wrong, all the thoughts that are wrong. Only they are changed and taken away through the truth. Okay. So the psalmist says in chapter 16, verse 4, we talked about it. He says, their sorrow shall be multiplied who hasten after another God. We explained that when we run after things which are not true God, which are not the real God, then we are going to multiply our sorrows. And this is the reason why sorrows are still multiplied today, because people are running after wrong gods. If they had encountered the true God, they would have experienced joy, and that's so powerful, brothers and sisters. So in this verse, the verse continues to say, their drink offerings of blood I will not offer. So David says, you see, these gods demands a lot. They will demand, offerings or blood. Now, David says, I will never do that, because many do it. You know how much people toil, people give a lot, people sacrifice a lot, and what they are sacrificing and giving is a wrong and fake, God. I mean, in other words, it says people invest into wrong things. They invest their time, they invest their hours, they invest their knowledge, they invest their generosity and so on and so forth in wrong gods, in wrong things, if you want, that will not satisfy them, that will not build them. See, because if in the Old Testament, the wrong gods used to demand blood and offerings. Okay, so this is a sign of demanding, whereas the true God supplies. You see, so this supply compared to demanding. So it says they are drained. They are drained because they keep on doing this and doing, hoping, and nothing is happening. Why? Because even while they are sowing, where they are investing their time, investing their thoughts, you know how people are convinced of certain things. They are like, this is true, and if those things are not true, they are investing their energies, but they will not get anything. They will actually multiply their sorrows. Because the true God is a supplier of the light, of joy, of happiness, of fulfillment and completeness. But the fake God will always take away from you, and you will never be fulfilled and be satisfied. You see what I mean? So their drink offering of blood I'll not offer. So David says, I will not waste my time on things that do not add something to me. They do not build my life. They do not bring that joy, that fullness of joy and happiness. And it's only found in our true God, not in gods. These are idols, and they can represent anything. Because they only multiply sorrow. They multiply sorrow. Sorrow is multiplied by these things. They are not helping us. They are not building us. You see what I mean? So, very important. What the psalmist is talking about here is very crucial. He says, not take up their names on my lips. He says, I will not even mention them on my lips. Oh, glory. So he's talking about the investment of your time, the investment of your riches, the investment of your money and everything given out for. Because do you know, for instance, you think that you can buy joy. You are using everything you have to buy joy. So because you're using it into certain things, thinking that they will give you joy or they give you certain happiness and fulfillment. And so he now equates that with the drinking of offerings of blood. It's like he's sucking your blood out. It's taking up your blood. Your blood can represent, your toil, your sweat, and so on and so forth. But you are the one who is giving that blood out. You see, these are things that we are looking joy in. We are looking for joy into these things, and instead of getting it, it's just draining us, sucking our blood out, draining us. This is what he's talking about. There are things which are just draining you. They are taking away your energies. They are taking away your efforts. They are taking away all your happiness, your joy. In fact, they are destroying, if you want here. He says, no, take up their names on my lips. He says, I will not even mention these gods on my lips because they are blood suckers. You see? You know how many people are investing into wrong things? I'm talking about even what you give your time, things people run after and they don't get what they are looking for. Because it's not found there. It's not meant to be there. It's not meant to be there. Oh Lord, verse 5, you are the portion of my inheritance, O glory, and my cup. You maintain my Lord. Oh Lord, you are the portion of my inheritance. So he says, I have found out, I have discovered that the Lord is, that God is the portion of my inheritance. And he talks about the portion because he understands that everyone has a portion. So this inheritance is for all of us. So he said, I discovered my portion. Have you discovered your portion in the Lord? He says, oh Lord, you are the portion of my inheritance and my cup. So there is this inheritance. Understand? The inheritance comes. It's not something that you offered. In the previous verse it talks about the drinks. They are drinks offerings of blood. I'll not offer. I will not offer something in order to gain something. You see? Now, this is what these fake gods will do. They'll ask you the blood, demand. But when you look at this, it talks about inheritance. Now, the inheritance is not something that comes to you after you have earned it. The inheritance normally comes to you as a result of your relationship. For instance, an inheritance is given to a child, a son. You inherit what came from your father, for instance, here. You see now? Inheritance is a free gift based on love and relationship. Whereas the offerings of the blood is to destroy you. But yet inheritance is supplied to you. The truth is you don't work for inheritance. The truth is that sometimes you feel like you don't even deserve the inheritance. The conditions for you to have the inheritance is the relationship, the sonship, if you are a son to that. Now that's why he's begun, in the beginning he said, oh my soul, you have said to the Lord, you are my Lord. I belong to you. Now, the only thing is that I belong to him. And so because I belong to him, he has, given me inheritance. Because he gives inheritance to those who are his. This is different from offering, the blood offerings, You get it? He says, oh Lord, you are the portion of my inheritance, and my cup you maintain, my Lord. So you are my portion. I'm satisfied, I'm happy, I'm excited. And you are my inheritance and my cup. You are my happiness, you are my joy, my fulfillment. This is what he's saying. Brothers and sisters, do you see now? It's a discovery. There's a difference between the offering of blood and inheritance. Have you seen that the Lord is there? Now, through that inheritance, we receive joy. Joy is part of our inheritance. This is what discovered the psalmist. Shalom, shalom.